This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on a Hide in Your Cave Monday. And I did a little spinny wheel where you pick a country. And I ended up in Bolivia. So we'll be looking at caves in Bolivia, and they're really cool. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for spending time with the After Party Live today. Aloha to you, Yvonne. Good to see you. And you say that you're glad I'm going to Maui this summer with my mom and the kids and no husbands. I know it's a sore subject around here, but I'm looking forward to it too. That's going to be July 10th through the 17th. Interestingly, Mark will be gone right around the same time. So there's a little bit of worry about what's going to happen, but I think everybody's going to be okay. I think it's going to be all right. I do want to put this into the chat. This is the way to vote. You guys have been crazy voting all weekend, and I have to say I'm so appreciative and also so impressed at the same time. So hold on, I have to vote for myself in order to get to the screen where it shows me the current status of things. And here is what it looks like right now. This is amazing. We now have 21% of the vote. Is this true? Could this be true? Wow. I mean, impressive. And this is only because of you guys voting. This is the Audio Caster of the Year award. And thanks to Clark Reed for the nomination. And now the After Party Live has 19,278 votes. That's really not so far away from the second spot. And I was happy with the fourth place. And then I was delighted with third place. And here we come creeping up on Gary Mora from KYA. This is really cool. So thank you guys for voting. It's one of these situations where you can vote as many times as you want up until July 1st. So, and it's easy. You don't have to enter your email information or anything else. You just go to the site that I put in the chat, click on the After Party Live, click submit, done. So thank you for voting. You can vote early and often, vote as many times as you want. I love Teacher Lori said she just leaves the link open on her computer every time she walks by, she votes again. Someone else said they were voting over and over again while they watch TV. So I tried that last night, and my husband and I were watching a movie. Have you ever seen that movie called, oh God, now I'm going to forget. It's called Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. We watched that last night. It was an interesting movie. Not what I expected. I had no idea what it was about going into it. It was really interesting. So anyway, this is the website. This is the place to vote. And thank you. And look at that. 19, almost. We're closing in on 20,000 votes. How is that even possible? Just really impressed. So thank you for that. Really, really nice. We'll get to, I think the voting is still open for the best chef. And our Elise in Zurio is in the running for that as well. The link, and I don't have it handy, but I did put it in the Mark Thompson Show Facebook fan discussion page. So if you're on a voting frenzy, please take a look at Elise's vote. I think it's a little more complicated. They want you to enter email addresses and everything else, but please vote for Elise if you have time as well, because Elise and I were both in the running for something. So that would be fun if we both won. I don't think I'm going to win, but that's okay. I feel like I've won already just for being in third place. This is amazing. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about this story. You never know what you're going to uncover in, I don't know, an old barrel. In this case, it was some really cool art. Here's where they found it. I'll take this down and put this up. They found it in this old villa area, uncovered these casks of wine, and in doing so, opened up the wine, and inside, someone must have put them for safekeeping somewhere, sometime, somehow, because this is pretty amazing. So this happened in Israel, near the capital city of a Roman province. One bust is inscribed with the name Lycurgus, which the researchers think may depict the legendary founder of ancient Sparta. But these two very well preserved busts, except for one of their noses, were found inside a wine vat in Israel. Look how amazing. What a find. They date back about 1700 years to the Roman Empire, and they were just sitting inside this ancient wine vat near the coast of Israel, right along the Mediterranean Sea. The busts were found on the very last day of an excavation of this ancient villa. This archaeological project was underway because the crews were trying to clear space for the construction of a new high-speed railway. It's amazing what they find. They say the pristine condition of these relics, which, by the way, they don't look that big here, but they're each about 2 feet tall and they weigh about 132 pounds each. The discovery raising new questions about their origin and connection to nearby historic port city of Caesarea. That was the capital of the Roman province of Judea in 6 CE. They said that they were digging the wine press and they found something sticking out of the ground. So workers called the archaeologist over and they said there was this feeling that they were about to discover something that really shouldn't be there. And suddenly they said, we saw this was not the usual pottery, it was marble. And slowly, slowly, these two statues were revealed. The archaeologist Michael Sorotskin says, I'm still struggling to find the right words. It was simply wondrous. They were found laying face down in the ruins of the villa's wine collection room. They're called protomes. That's the term for the sculpture of someone's head and upper torso. Protomes. They appear to depict prominent figures from history, one with the inscription Lycurgus across its side. They think that could be Lycurgus, the founder of Sparta in the 7th century BCE, or Lycurgus from the 4th century BCE, who was an orator from Athens. The one protome was made to honor the founder of Sparta. They say it's a complicated thesis because historians only began mentioning him hundreds of years after he supposedly lived. So they don't know if he's a real character or a fictional character or what. As for the orator hypothesis, they're still looking into it and checking out the research there. They don't know the identity of the second figure with the long beard. Not sure. They don't know if he's a philosopher or some type of thinker from that era. They said the revelation is the kind of discovery that demonstrates to the public the power of archaeology. One moment we're working on a modern infrastructure project, the next moment a window opens into the lives and cultural world of those who lived right here many hundreds of years ago. What they don't know is why these sculptures were hidden. Looks evidently like they were hidden, and that comes with some intrigue. So they're now taking a closer study of the villa where these were found. They think this villa, and I have another picture of the villa, was constructed during the Byzantine era between the 5th and 7th centuries CE, when these busts were already hundreds of years old. It's possible, they say, that these sculptures were on public display in a nearby building or a bathhouse for the elite, or were owned maybe personally by a wealthy resident of Caesarea, which was a common practice at the time. The archaeologists also say regional conflict or fear of theft may have prompted their storage in this manner. What they can say is that both of these sculptures will be on public display this summer in Tel Aviv at the Musa Eretz Israel Museum before they are removed for cleaning, conservation, and research. It's called a once in a lifetime discovery, a very unexpected but somehow really big discovery. And they say it's interesting how these things always seem to turn up on the very last day of an excavation. Isn't that weird? I have another excavation story. So crazy what they find. I'm telling you. More art as well. Check this out. This piece of art and this mosaic. Some of the things that authorities found when they went to check out reports of an illegal excavation in Rome. And this is what they found. This ancient villa adorned with mosaics. They think it's from the 2nd century CE, during the time when Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius and Antoninus Pius frequented the area in which this residence was found. Castel de Guido is the name of this village. It's on the outskirts of Rome, and a few months ago, residents in Castel de Guido notified police of some unusual activity that was taking place. They had spotted people digging at night, and it didn't look like they were authorized to be there. And authorities came out to investigate, and they realized looters used a backhoe to access an underground cavern protected by fencing. So archaeologists then jumped into action. They wanted to prevent further damage, and they thought, well, I guess we have to look at this site right now. What they discovered was a well-preserved ruin in this area that may have been visited by Roman emperors. They say it was possible to identify part of a large, previously unknown imperial period villa with a splendid array of decorations. Here you can see this black and white mosaic. They called it emergency excavations, revealing this entrance hall which featured an impluvium, that's a marble basin at the center of the room, and a mosaic floor adorned with botanical and geometric designs. They say the atrium's back wall was once decorated with a colorful fresco, but now only the lower section of artwork in red plaster survives. 3 of the 4 rooms surrounding the entrance hall had these mosaic floors with a variety of patterns. One room with a waterproof flooring that indicates it may have been used for agricultural activities. They don't know. And in addition, they found this 31.5-inch tall statue of a bearded man. They think maybe it was supposed to represent Silvanus, the Roman god of the countryside. Here's a picture. You can see that. Really interesting. The the Roman god of the countryside, or maybe it was Silenus, a rustic god of winemaking and drunkenness. I vote for that one. The figure is dressed in a tunic with a basket slung over his shoulder, and he may have once held a small animal on his arm. But this villa was lavish in nature, probably built in the first half of the 1st century CE, which suggests that its owners were Roman aristocrats or maybe even members of the imperial family. In the ancient times, the area was home to Lorium, a village called the favorite haunt of Marcus Aurelius. Even Antoninus Pius spent time in Lorium and built a villa there. Oh. Archaeologists think this villa was abandoned around the 3rd century when people started vacating the area. But they're going to be documenting all the artifacts removed from the site. It's not the first time there's been illegal excavations in this town, Castel de Guido. But archaeologists say these digs often destroy valuable archaeological evidence. It's an important piece of their puzzle, this site, that helps them understand and preserve the history-rich territory. So they don't want people going in there and just taking stuff out. All right, I have some animal stories for you too, including this one about a bee truck. Oh no, it was an overturned bee truck. And so serious was this incident, they had to put out an order for people to stay indoors that live nearby. 2 million bees released right near a neighborhood in Texas. The people there warned to stay indoors because of an estimated 2 million bees that were dumped onto the roadway after an 18-wheeler overturned right in the area of Mauriceville. Happened on Sunday. The truck was hauling 50,000 pounds of bees, an estimated 2 million of them, when it overturned while it was making a turn on the roadway. The driver wasn't hurt, but the bee swarm was incredible. You can see it here. Queen Bee Supply posted the photos showing local beekeepers that were summoned to the scene to round up the bees and take them to a local honey farm. They said it's not something you ever want to see, but nice to see beekeepers helping beekeepers. They urged nearby residents to remain in their homes while the bees were all rounded up. Some photographers were stung while trying to capture video and take pictures of all this. Yikes. Yeah, I would say stay inside, close the doors and windows. This story, it has to be Australia, right? Look at that. 1 minute you're watching TV, the next minute, oh, maybe you're not watching TV. This family in Queensland, Australia, hi Glenn, had to call out a professional reptile wrangler where a large snake was found hiding behind a living room television set. What? We've dealt with these guys before. Sunshine Coast snake catchers 24/7 called out to a home where a snake found its way inside. The snake apparently wanting to watch a movie with the family. Unfortunately, he was not welcome to stay, so they had to call out Stu with the bee people, with the snake people, to professionally relocate the snake. The home's resident said the snake must have gotten inside while the doors and windows were left open. They captured the snake, took it to a safe outdoor area. They didn't say whether this was a snake that could kill you. I wouldn't want to test it, but it was a pretty big snake. Somehow managed to hide behind that TV. I'm telling you, Australia. This story. Scientists have found coral reefs act differently, and there may be some that are more receptive to help than others, if that makes sense. Large swaths of coral reefs might be able to withstand climate change. And so now scientists are saying, because we know this, there might be new ways to help conserve our coral reefs. There's been new studies done that have mapped more than 64,000 square miles where coral reefs, which is a crucial habitat, seem to be somewhat protected from the impacts of the warming ocean. And that's big because up until now, it was kind of dismal research into coral reefs and bleaching of coral reefs and all of these things. Like it looked like they were on the way out and no way to be saved. 71 countries, 100 territories, 64,000 square miles of coral reefs across that area. Now scientists say has the potential to survive warming oceans. They presented these findings at the Our Ocean conference in Kenya, and it's now undergoing peer review. But what the study authors say is that coral reefs are often framed as ecosystems beyond saving, and this research shows otherwise, which is amazing. They're threatened by pollution, overfishing, rising ocean temperatures, which makes the bleaching of the coral reefs more frequent. Bleaching is when the water is too warm and it causes the coral to expel the algae that live in its tissues, which removes its main food source and then it turns white. The bleached coral is still alive in the short term, but it's stressed, and if conditions persist, it can die. So, previous research found three types of climate change safe havens for corals. Some certain have certain protections against physical characteristics of climate stressors like heat. It's the most identified type of uh, they call it a refugia, which is a safe haven for corals. But there are also other areas that have resistance, where corals are better able to tolerate heat stress and recovery, where they can bounce back after exposure to heat. So these researchers taught artificial intelligence to pinpoint these specific areas by training the AI on about 45,000 coral reef observations collected since 1960. And it used 42 predictors, including ocean temperature, chemistry, and human pressures, to estimate coral cover and community composition, and then predict cover in 2050. They fed two coral reef habitat maps into AI, and about 61% of the area is in the coastal waters of Australia, the Bahamas, Cuba, Indonesia, and the Philippines. The researchers identified a potentially significant safe area or refugia in Belize, Nicaragua, and they found 50 reef assessments. The results published in 2018, the first overview of the coral reefs that could withstand climate change. So, this new study sharpens, they say, decades of work on reef resilience to climate change, focusing attention on the critical question of whether these climate refuges comprise 10%, 1%, or even less of the former extent of coral reefs. Kind of interesting. There was a thought that the reefs in the Caribbean were dead. And now the research is that's inaccurate. And saying that could be harmful to progress on restoring these reefs and protection initiatives. So while they're not thriving, not all hope is lost. The authors of this study, they say they want their work to offer a roadmap for where countries should invest conservation funding, especially for small nations with limited resources. It's a, I think, a way that we're able to see maybe AI playing a helpful role, which might be hard to admit, but I don't think we would know this if we didn't use AI to do this. All right. I have a lotto of the day before we get to our caves. And this one, this woman was on her way to a family reunion from Tennessee, and she stopped at a gas station in Ohio. She's from Nashville. She said she stopped at the S&G gas station on the Fremont Pike in Perrysburg to fill up on her way to the family reunion. And she thought, I'll just buy this $10 Ohio lottery bingo times 50 scratch off ticket. Caught her eye at the checkout. So she bought it and she scratched it off. And she won $500,000, $500,000. She said she managed to keep her big win secret at the family reunion. Yeah, don't tell anybody. But it'd be gone by the time you left the family reunion. She said she's planning to use some of her winnings to do something nice for her family. She said she's also hoping to take a vacation with her prize money as well. Congratulations on your 500 grand. All right. We will move now to Hide in Your Cave Monday. It is kind of a hide in your cave Monday kind of day, I think. Here it is. Hide in your cave Monday. And off we go to the caves of Bolivia. Yeah, there's some beautiful caves in Bolivia. Really, really gorgeous. And you know, I love a sea cave. Here is the first one. This one is called the grotto. Let me see if I get it right. I say it right. Gruta de San Pedro. It is a big cave, and there are different paths that you can take inside of this cave. It looks like you have to go there by boat. It's a really popular attraction for Bolivians and tourists. The Gruta, one of the most famous and popular attractions. This cave is about 30 minutes away from a main plaza in San Pedro, and there are taxis that will take you here. It's about 1 or 2 hours to get there, they say. 1 or 2 hours because they have to wait for the round trip back. You spend about 2 hours at the cave. There is an entrance fee that includes a flashlight and a helmet. And when you go inside, it's pitch black, and sometimes you can see bats flying above you. You find this lagoon in here. There's the lagoon with the crystal clear water. And most of the locals believe the water has medicinal properties. And there are boats that you can get on to further explore the lagoon. It costs about 20 bolivanos for the ride, about 15-minute ride in the cave lagoon. That helps you get a better understanding of how big this cave is. And there are different paths that you can explore inside of the cave. The town of San Pedro is small, but there's a lot of history there. And they say if you talk to the locals, they're very helpful and able to share advice about exploring this really interesting cave. Gruta San Pedro is the name of this cave. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to take the boat tour, really explore more of this. The next one is called Gruto de las Galaxias. Here is a picture of that. Ooh, interesting cave. There are views from a lookout point here. The landscape all around this cave is said to be really amazing. This one, worth the visit. Gruta de los Galaxios, near Potosi, Bolivia. This is a small cave filled with petrified algae. Tiny blooms forming these bony formations make it look like this mysterious, beautiful place. A jewel. Really interesting. And again, that is the Gruta de los Galaxias near Potosi, Bolivia. I'm kind of fascinated by the little bony formations in that cave. Super cool. The next one is Las Cuervas. This is a cool one too. It's funny they rate the caves. This one gets 4.5 stars, so that's nice. Santiago de Chiquitos is where we find Las Cuervas. And here is a picture of it. And it looks like a really tall cave. Look at that. You can see the moon. That's really cool. Las Cuervas is the name of this cave. There's a lot of interesting information. Some of it's in Spanish, so I can't understand what they're saying. But yeah, so interesting formations, very, very tall. You can kind of see up. There's a skylight in the day, just like this looks like a shaft of light, shining light down into this cave. And then, of course, at night, what a perfect shot of the moon from the top of this incredible cave. Sorry, 4.6 stars this cave gets. You know, it's called exceptional, an exceptional cave. And we love an exceptional cave. All right. The next one is called, see if I can get back to it here. Las Cuervas. Oh, I thought I had one more. One more really cool Bolivian cave to show you. Oh, that might be it. That might be all she wrote. Yep, that's the last picture I downloaded. I'm bad. So that's it. So we have these cool caves. We have the Gruto de San Pedro. I think that's the one I'm choosing to hide out in today. We have the Gruto de los Galaxias and the Las Cuervas cave with a really cool sunroof right in the top of it. And those caves are all in Bolivia. Really beautiful. And that is Hide in Your Cave Monday. Hopefully you found a cave to hide out in. Plato's Cave. I'll have to look that one up. Is that why Butch and Sundance went to Bolivia for the caves? There's something you don't see every day. Cave temperatures? Wow. Talking about the hot water off the coast of Florida. Yeah. We're all temporary. Don't worry, it'll be here long after humans are gone, says Maud. I don't know if that snake was poisonous. That was would have been my concern, although they didn't say. They just took it, caught it, set it free somewhere. I don't know. I love your comments. Thank you guys. My favorite too, the beautiful blue water. Yeah. Being on a boat in a cave just seems so pleasant and peaceful. There's something about it. And that is Hide in Your Cave Monday. Huge thank you to everyone who contributes to the After Party Live. I appreciate you so much. From the emails that you send, to the votes that you cast, to the story ideas. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. And then there's the financial contributions as well. And that means a lot because this show could not happen without that. The most recent contributors to the show PayPal, which, by the way, you can find the information in the show description every day. Wes coming in today with a contribution. Alicia P with a monthly contribution. She just sets it up to roll once a month. Done. Thank you, Alicia. Vicky S, thank you. Amy P, thank you. Wes from last week, thank you. Those are the most recent contributors. Just so appreciate your support of this show. Nullifidian throwing in 2. Thank you, Nullifidian. Look at you. I can't tell what that emoji is. A smiling face and is that a bat? I don't know what that is, but that's cool. Thank you for the contribution. Luis coming in. Public service announcement to my after party peeps. Kim is only 3% behind for second place for Audiocaster of the Year. We still have over a week to rally. Let's move Kim on up. I appreciate that. There's the thing is if we don't keep voting, then the guy in 4th place can surpass the 3rd place. So I'm very, very happy with 3rd place. But thank you, Luis. Really nice. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Nullifidian says, I'm not afraid of snakes or spiders, but I have a healthy respect for the dangerous ones. Tammy wants to know if I got your email. I don't think I did. Let me just double check it before we check out. Let's see what you sent me. Oh, caves, waterfalls, and more. Awesome. So here's the problem with that is sometimes I can't play it, but thank you for sending me this. I'll take a look at it. She sent me a cool video that someone put out. This woman, Kirsten Dirksen, of an interesting cave. Awesome. I will check that out. Thank you for noting it, and I will look at it. So thank you, Tammy. Thanks for the email. Really appreciate it. Oh, it's a bouquet of flowers. Thank you. That's cute. That's nice. You're laughing. It wasn't a bat. It was a bouquet. Where did I get that one wrong? All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a really good rest of your Monday. Time to come out of the cave and into the world. Here we go. Have a really good day. Make it the very best rest of your Monday. I'll see you back tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show. Mark goes on location because there's some work to be done at his house. He'll actually be in a different studio tomorrow, so that'll be interesting to see. And of course, David K. Johnston will be on the show. So I will see you tomorrow right back here on YouTube at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Until we meet again, bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
So noted. No one will be forcing you out. Thank you, Luis. Aloha, my friend. The good news is you can just click restart and off it goes again. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to try to force y'all out of there. You can stay in your little canoe bobbing around in the blue waters of the cave. I think I can see Heather back there and Rev.